Hello guys, welcome to the Graph channel. So today I'm going to be explaining to you guys how you can scalp, boom and crash using this strategy. Okay, so I love this strategy and I use it most of the time. Why? Because this strategy right here is give me where to exit the trade. Okay, when you enter a trade, it give you when to exit your trade and the candle that you are going to catch before closing your positions. Okay, so this strategy can give you everything in depth on how you can scalp this boom and crash. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys everything you need to know about strategy. And if you're new to the channel, please do me for a favor by subscribe to this channel, like this video, and also turn on post notification, and I will post new strategy. You guys will be aware. Okay, so with that being said, let's proceed with the strategy. And if you are someone that want to get our mentorship program, okay, you can just contact number you're seeing on the screen or check the link in the description below. You will see our contacts right here, our Telegram and our WhatsApp contact right here. You can contact us for beyond strategy course or the mentorship tutorial. Okay, so with that being said, let's proceed with the strategy. Now the first thing we are going to be talking about is how you can use the strategy. I'm going to be discussing that with you guys, how to use the strategy. Okay, and I'm going to give you guys settings of the strategy, which is the second thing I'm going to be talking about. Now we first deal with this one before we dive into this one. Okay, so first deal with how to use the strategy before we dive into the settings of the strategy. Okay, so now what you have to keep in mind is that the indicator you are seeing right here is Ichimoku. The indicator you are seeing right here is the moving average. Now this is the indicator right here is this also oscillator, and this is Ichimoku again, and this is the RSI line. So keep that in mind, and that is the other indicator we are going to be using. Okay, so now pay close attention to this because everything you need to know about strategy is going to be explained to you guys. Now, how do you use this strategy? Now, to use the strategy is very simple and straightforward strategy. Now, we just have to pay close attention to our indicator window one. What our indicator window one says is what we are going to follow. Okay, now before we explain the first indicator window one, for pay close attention to indicator window one. Now you have to keep in mind that whenever you want to take a trade, you don't want to see the the moving average above the Ichimoku. Okay, it does not want to be above the Ichimoku, which you can clearly see right here, because this, even if you move in your position, I do not have a guarantee about it moving to your direction. Okay, but if you see it below, the which you can see that if you see it below the Ichimoku, then I can guarantee you will make profit using this strategy. Okay, so look for a fake signal. That is why the moving average is there for you to keep you from a fake entries. Okay, so now that is that about that. So let's proceed with how to use the strategy. Now make sure you keep that in mind. Make sure you always want to see the moving average below the Ichimoku. Now the first thing you have to do is you want to patiently wait for the oscillator to come to the 85 levels of the RSI. When you get to this area right here, the 85 levels of RSI, then the next thing you have to wait for is you want to wait for it to change from this green right here to red. Okay, it has to change to red, which you can clearly see right here. Now once it changed to red, then you should be expecting, now the next thing you should be expecting is the Ichimoku to also touch the 85 level, which you can clearly see right here. It has to touch the 85 levels of the RSI. Now when these two conditions have been met, which is a probability condition, first we want to see the Ichimoku touch the 85 levels. Second, we want to see the oscillator touch the cell levels, and the third you have to see the oscillator change from green to red. Now on these three conditions have been met, then the next thing we want to see is you want to be looking into our main chart. Now what is our expectation in our main chart? Now our expectation should be that when we see the price, we only see the candle closing below the Ichimoku. Now we are anticipating to take our entries. Now you don't just enter a trade when the candle closes below the Ichimoku. You enter when at least one candle close below it. Now this is the candle you want to wait for to can't finish. Okay, after the can't finish, then you enter this third one. which is the third candle you enter, and always anticipate to take your profit when the candle touch the moving average. That's where you want to take your profit. Now, sometimes the price might touch the might not touch the moving average and give you a spike. Now why? Because sometimes the price might just show you something right here. Now I want you to pay close attention to this. Okay, now this is the second thing you want to pay close attention to when you are taking your profit. Now to take your profit, now when you are seeing that the Ichimoku, the oscillator is showing you a sign that is going to the oversold level, which is this right here. It's changing from this overbought. It's changing from this oversold to the overbought level. Now let me show you guys what I mean by that. Now you can see right here the oscillator is at the oversold level. Now when it is now create something we call, when you are now showing a sign that you want to go overbought, then that is when you want to be exit your trade. Okay, so sometimes the price will not touch moving average, but it's actually create something we call the overbought. Then you should be expected to take your profit because spike might happen. Okay, so that is what you need to keep in mind when using the strategy. Okay, so I'll give guys one more example, and I'm going to show you guys the settings of the strategy. Now this is another example right here. Now let's look for a clean entries because we are not just entering a trade. Now sometimes on crash you might have better opportunity with a lot of spike, and on boom you might also have some opportunity with a lot of spike. Now what can we see right here? We wait for all kind of criteria to be met. Now the first criteria says that we need to see the Ichimoku touch the 15 levels, and also you want to see the oscillator touch the 15 levels. When these two things happen, then the third thing should be you want to see the oscillator change from red to green. Okay, after change from red to green, then we look into our main chart. We want to see two candle close is above the Ichimoku. Now see two candle close above the moving average. After two candle close above the moving average, then we enter our trade at the third candle. Okay, so after the third, we enter at the third candle. Our take profit should always be at when the price touch the moving average, or when it creates something we call the oversold level. Now oversold region coming from here. Now when it's showing something like this right here, changing from this overbought level to the oversold level, then you have to pay close attention to that and take your profits right here. Okay, so that is how you use the strategy. So I hope you guys understand the strategy. You just have to make sure you follow the rules and make sure you practice the strategy to understand how the strategy really works. Okay, so once you do that, then let me show you guys settings of the strategy. Now for the settings, the first thing you want to do is just to go to this icon you are seeing at the top. Now when you click on the icon, this is all the indicator we are going to be need: the Ichimoku, the moving average, RSI, oscillator, and the Ichimoku. Now to add this up, you just have to click on the F plus. Okay, when you click on the F plus, just scroll down, search for your Ichimoku, which is right here, then click on it. Now for the Ichimoku, the property says that the Kenshin is 10, the Kijisen is 27, the Spambi is 53, and price to price field. Now we only need the Kenshin style, okay, and use any style of your choice. Now the remaining, use it as your background color. Then as you do that, click on save. Now moving on to the next indicator, which is the moving average. Now click on the F plus, search for moving average, and click on it. Now for the period is 100, shift is 1, method is exponential, apply to close. For the style, use any color of your choice, then click on save once you do that. Now moving on to the next one, now which is going to be now indicator window 1. Now to add this up, we click on the F plus. When we click on it, we scroll and search for our RSI, then this is the properties. Now the period is 5, the apply to low. Now for the levels, we need the 85 and the 15 levels. Of course, use any style of your choice for the levels. Now once you do that, then for the style of the RSI, make sure it be as your background color. We only need the level, we don't need the RSI style. Okay, so click on save. Once you do that, and you are going to have your RSI in your chart. Now remember, once you have the RSI up, it's automatically going to be in your indicator window 1. Now the remaining indicator we are going to be adding is going to be in our indicator window 1. Now the next thing you have to do is click on the F plus on your indicator window 1, scroll down, search for your oscillator, just set it as default, then click on save, and you're going to have your or some oscillator in your chart. Now to the next indicator, we click on the plus again. You scroll down, search for Ichimoku, and then the properties. The location is 5, the condition is 5, the span B is 53 also. Now price to price field. Now the style, make sure you use the same color as your main chart. Now the remaining should be a super color. Then click on save, and you're going to have everything in depth and all settings you need for the strategy. Okay, so I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like a turn on put notification, enter a boring strategy. You guys will be aware. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.